Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation continues from a-sabad-a-day. And today the recitation is of the 71st Sabad. The recitation. a-sabad-a-day. जिसका सब किछ तिसका होए, तिस जन लेप न व्यापै कोय। हर का सेवक सद ही मुक्ता, जो किछ करे सोई पल। जन के अत निर्मल, दास की जुगता रहाओ। सगल त्याग हर सरणी आया, तिस जन कहाँ व्यापै माया। नाम निधान जाके मन माहे, तिसको चिंता सुपनै नाहे। कहो नानक गुर पूरा पाया, परम मोह सगल बिनसाया. So today we'll do the literal translation line by line first, and then spend a few minutes on the central message. Jiska sab kich tiska hoye. Jiska, the reference is to a Bhagat. Jiska sab kich, that servant devotee whose all, sab kich. Now what does that mean? It means whose life belongs to that oneness. What is being said is the servant devotee who is in complete submission to oneness. This is jan lep na vyape koi. That servant devotee does not get stuck in attachment. Lep. Lep is a sticky substance that kind of sticks to you, that you used and is wrapped around you. And in Gurmat, it is used to define our attachments. So the Guru is saying, Jiska sab kich tiska hoye, tis jana lepna vyapa koi. When you have submitted yourself to that oneness, then you're not stuck in attachments of the world. Har ka sevak sad hi mukta. This is pretty obvious. One who is in service of the herself, in other words, you remember that devotion, that submission is always free. Jo kich kare soi pal. Jo kich kare, meaning Jo kich kare refers to that one self, supreme being. Whatever providence does or whatever comes to pass, Pal jan ke at nirmal das ki jukta. The jan accepts that without resistance. Because at nirmal das ki jukta. Jukta is the method. It's very simple and it is pure. What is it? The motive is always pure. It's ego-free. Sagal tyag har sarani aya. Abandoning all attachment, the servant found shelter in the wisdom of the self. This jan kaha vyape maya. So one who is in a state of complete submission to the self, the Guru questions, he's raising he's saying, why then would such an individual experience the pull of worldly entanglements? In other words, it's not entangled. It's in the world, but not of it. Naam nidhan jaake manamahe. In that servant devotee's heart is embedded the treasure of self-knowledge, the virtues of self-knowledge. Tisko chinta supane nahe. So he's free of worry, free of anxiety, free of fear. Kaho Nanak Guru Pura Paya, says Nanak, the perfect Guru was found. In other words, the perfect wisdom was found. And then, Parama Moho Sagal Binasaya, my doubts, my delusions were banished. So now let's go back to the first verse here, where they talk about lep, attachments. So what is this attachment? Now you see, hukum is providence, if you want to call it that, is really veiled from us. The ego cannot see it. It's in opposition. And because it is veiled, Haume falls into the trap of obsessive self-definition, which includes it's not separable from defining relationships to objects and people. So in other words, an obsession to define the world in relation to itself, the ego. And that is what becomes our blind spot, our conditioning, making it impossible for us to see that we are not fixed, because Ekwankar is continuously recreating us and the world we live in. Sahib Mera Neet Nama. We don't see that, you see. We are not open to change because we have obsessively holding on to our self-definition of who we are and the world around us. And because that happens, we stagnate. And when we stagnate, we fall prey to various passions like Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Mohankar. Now the Guru says in the Rahau, in the reflective verse, it's very simple. It is very simple. Just become nirmal. In other words, distill the impediment of the ego out of your consciousness. It's as simple as that. At nirmal das ki jukta. Purity of motive. So that's what you need to do. Submission. So the Har Ka Sevak is free from the bondage. Har Ka Sevak sad hi mukta, because it has followed the path of purification. At nirmal das ki jukta. What that means is that the devotee is inspired not by the ego, but by purity of motive and integrity of purpose. What that means is there are no hidden agendas, you see. There are no ulterior motives. But there is complete surrender to divine writ. Whatever comes to pass is accepted as its will. Jog shikare so pal kar jano. So self-surrender or submission, we all know, is the ultimate goal of Gurmat. Because you see, surrender ultimately is inevitable, whether you like it or not. One way or the other, you have to submit to what is happening around you because you're not in control of everything. So the question, and I paraphrase William James here, what will the manner of our acceptance be? Will we be partial in accepting hukum? Will we be grudging? Or will we accept hukum heartily and altogether? Will we protest against certain things? Will we be unforgiving of certain things? Or shall we think that even with evil, there are ways of living that must lead to good? So if we accept hukum, shall we do so as if we were stunned into submission? Or shall we do so with enthusiasm? The answer in this passage is embrace hukum with enthusiasm. Let go of your narrow, selfish agendas and seek the shelter of the self. Sagal tyag har sarani aya. And the way to do that is find the perfect wisdom, find the enlightener. Kaho nanak gur pura paya. Paramamo sagal bin se aaya. That is the way to do it. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh.